Splicing conductors inside a panel board to lengthen them is typically not permitted by electrical codes. There are several reasons for this prohibition, primarily concerning safety and maintaining the integrity of the electrical system. Firstly, panel boards are designed for specific wiring configurations and space limitations. Adding splices within the panel board can create overcrowding, making it difficult to properly manage and maintain the wiring. This overcrowding can also hinder the dissipation of heat, potentially leading to overheating and increasing the risk of electrical fires. Secondly, splices introduce potential points of failure in the electrical system. Every splice, even if properly made, represents a connection that could loosen, corrode, or otherwise degrade over time. A faulty splice can cause arcing, voltage drops, and other electrical problems that can compromise the safety and reliability of the system. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides specific guidelines and regulations for wiring methods and installations. While the NEC doesn't explicitly forbid every single instance of splicing within a panel board, it strongly discourages it and sets stringent requirements if such splices are unavoidable. Generally, the NEC favors continuous, unbroken conductors from the source to the load. There may be certain specific scenarios where splicing within a panel board is permitted, but these situations are very limited and require strict adherence to NEC guidelines. For example, if the panel board is specifically designed and listed for accepting splices, and if the splices are made using approved methods and materials, it might be allowed. However, this is not the norm, and it's crucial to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards. When conductors need to be lengthened, the preferred method is to replace the entire conductor with one of the appropriate length. This eliminates the need for splices and ensures a continuous, reliable connection. If replacing the conductor is not feasible, another option is to install a junction box outside the panel board. The junction box provides a safe and accessible location for making splices. Within the junction box, conductors can be spliced using approved methods, such as wire connectors or terminal blocks. The junction box must be properly sized to accommodate the number and size of conductors and splices, and it must be installed in accordance with the NEC requirement. All splices must be made using approved connectors listed for the purpose. Wire connectors, such as wire nuts or push-in connectors, are commonly used for splicing conductors. These connectors are designed to provide a secure and reliable electrical connection. Terminal blocks can also be used for splicing, especially in situations where multiple conductors need to be connected together. It is essential to ensure that the wire connectors or terminal blocks are properly sized for the conductors being used. Using the wrong size connector can result in a loose connection, which can lead to arcing and overheating. When making splices, it is crucial to follow the manufacturer's instructions for the specific connectors being used. This includes stripping the insulation from the conductors to the correct length, twisting the conductors together tightly, and ensuring that the connector is properly tightened. After making the splices, it is important to secure the conductors within the junction box. This can be done using cable clamps or other approved methods. Securing the conductors prevents them from being pulled or damaged, which could compromise the integrity of the splices. The junction box must be properly closed and secured to prevent access by unauthorized personnel and to protect the splices from environmental factors. In summary, splicing conductors inside a panel board to lengthen them is generally not permitted due to safety concerns and code requirements. The preferred method is to replace the conductor with one of the correct length or to install a junction box outside the panel board for making splices. All splices must be made using approved methods and materials, and they must be properly secured and protected. Always consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards. Failure to follow these guidelines can result in electrical hazards, code violations, and potential liability. It is also crucial to consider the ampacity of the conductors and splices. The ampacity of a conductor is the maximum amount of current that it can safely carry without overheating. When splicing conductors, it is important to ensure that the ampacity of the splice is equal to or greater than the ampacity of the conductors being spliced. If the splice is not properly sized, it can overheat and potentially cause a fire. The NEC provides tables and guidelines for determining the ampacity of conductors and splices. These tables take into account factors such as the size of the conductor, the type of insulation, and the ambient temperature. It is essential to consult these tables and follow the NEC guidelines to ensure that the conductors and splices are properly sized for the application. In addition to ampacity, it is also important to consider the voltage rating of the conductors and splices. The voltage rating of a conductor is the maximum voltage that it can safely withstand without insulation breakdown. When splicing conductors, it is important to ensure that the voltage rating of the splice is equal to or greater than the voltage rating of the conductors being spliced. If the splice is not properly rated, it can fail and potentially cause an electrical shock. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment and materials be listed and labeled for their intended use. This means that the equipment and materials have been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories or ALL. When selecting conductors, splices, and other electrical equipment, it is important to ensure that they are properly listed and labeled. This provides assurance that the equipment and materials meet the applicable safety standards. It is also important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installing and using the electrical equipment and materials. The manufacturer's instructions provide detailed information on how to properly install and use the equipment, and they should be followed carefully to ensure safe and reliable operation. In addition to the NEC, there may be other local codes and regulations that apply to electrical installations. It is important to check with the local authorities to determine what codes and regulations are in effect. The local codes and regulations may be more stringent than the NEC, and they must be followed to ensure compliance. When working on electrical systems, it is important to take all necessary safety precautions. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as safety glasses and gloves. It also includes de-energizing the circuit before working on it. De-energizing the circuit can be done by turning off the circuit breaker or removing the fuse that supplies power to the circuit. Before working on a de-energized circuit, it is important to verify that the circuit is actually de-energized. This can be done using a voltage tester. A voltage tester is a device that is used to measure the voltage of a circuit. If the voltage tester indicates that there is no voltage present, then the circuit is de-energized. However, it is important to remember that voltage can sometimes be present even when a circuit is supposed to be de-energized. This can be due to backfeeding or other factors. Therefore, it is always important to be cautious and to treat all circuits as if they are energized. When working on electrical systems, it is also important to be aware of the potential for arc flash. Arc flash is a dangerous electrical phenomenon that can occur when a short circuit or other fault occurs in an electrical system. Arc flash can produce intense heat and light, and it can cause serious burns and other injuries. To protect against arc flash, it is important to wear appropriate arc-rated PPE. Arc-rated PPE is designed to protect against the heat and energy produced by an arc flash. The level of protection provided by arc-rated PPE is measured in calories per square centimeter, or cal/CN2. The higher the cal/CN2 rating, the more protection the PPE provides. In addition to wearing arc-rated PPE, it is also important to follow safe work practices when working on electrical systems. This includes maintaining a safe distance from energized equipment, using insulated tools, and avoiding contact with conductive materials. Finally, it is important to remember that electrical work can be dangerous. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it is best to leave it to a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the training and experience necessary to perform electrical work safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. In summary, splicing conductors inside panel board to lengthen them is generally not permitted due to safety concerns and code requirements. A preferred method is to replace the conductor with one of the correct length or to install a junction box outside the panel board for making splices. All splices must be made using approved methods and materials, and they must be properly secured and protected. Always consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards. Failure to follow these guidelines can result in electrical hazards, code violations, and potential liability. Always prioritize safety when working with electrical systems and seek professional assistance when needed. The integrity of electrical connections is paramount to a safe and functional electrical system. Improper splicing not only violates codes but also increases the risk of electrical fires, equipment damage, and personal injury. Therefore, adherence to proper wiring methods and the use of approved materials are essential for maintaining a safe and reliable electrical installation. Remember to de-energize circuits before working on them, use appropriate PPE, and consult with qualified professionals to ensure compliance and safety.